Hi guys, Sandy from the Paddle School here. In this video today, we're going to talk about the serve formations. So we're going to talk about the normal formation, the Australian formation, why and when you should be using these, and also where to start from with your serve and where to move to depending on these formations. We're also, at the end of the video, going to talk about the biggest mistake that players are making when they're deciding about these formations that's really holding them back on their service games. So to begin with, we're going to talk about the normal or traditional formation, and this is where you and your partner are on opposite sides of the court. So in this example, I'm on the right hand side, they'll be at net on the left hand side, and here I'm going to serve from the center of this box. I'm midway between the glass and the center line. I don't want to be too close to the glass because from here I leave a big gap down the middle, and I don't want to be too close to the center line because this time the gap is down by the fence. From this position here, when I approach the net and serve volley, which I should be doing on both of my serves, I'll be coming into this position and it's my responsibility to cover my half of the court, so I want to be in a good position where I can come directly here. If they hit a very fast return, I want to be in a position where I can kind of step one step to that side and one step to that side, and I can cover the middle and I can cover the fence. Now, when it comes to the position from the middle of the box here, you're going to serve, and because it's on the diagonal, which is where obviously your serve is going, you're going to move towards the line of the ball, and that means that you're going to be one big step from the center point of this box to the left-hand side, because your responsibility to cover the middle here. So that's what you want, to go from the middle at the back to slightly left on the court here, so that you can cover both of those angles. So now let's look at the Australian formation, and that is when you and your partner are on the same side of the court. Now normally you would use this for two real reasons. At the beginner level or low level, you might use this as variation to kind of keep your opponents guessing, but at a slightly higher level you would use this because you and your partner want to stay on your designated sides. So in this example, if my partner is on the right hand side, it's because he prefers to play on the right hand side of the court and I would play on the left. And in this situation, I would start near the center line. It doesn't make sense for me to start in the middle. Firstly, because it means I've got further to go to the net position I need to get to, and also he will probably be blocking my serve anyway. So you want to start close to this center point here, and then you're going to serve again into that diagonal box, and you're going to come forward into your net position here. Now, if you're serving towards the glass, it is going to be your responsibility to cover the return down the line, towards the fence. So you've got to make sure that you get into a position fast enough and far enough left on this side of the box that you're able to cover that shot. Now your partner is the one who actually is responsible for covering the middle, because they're the ones who this time are going to be slightly closer to the center, and they're the ones who are going to cover that shot if it does go down the middle. When it comes to the correct net position, you want to give as a reference point probably one step in front of that second post, particularly if you are the volleyer that is on the down the line. If we're serving from the right hand side of the box and it's going into the opposite right hand corner and it's going towards the glass, it's going to be your responsibility down the line to attack that next ball if it is an easy one. And that means that you can be one step closer and your partner can be one step slightly further back, because they will be the one that is covering the kind of lob down the middle or that ball that is kind of drifting towards their side. But it's a good idea to use the second post as a reference point. If you're the one who's serving and you're the one who's slightly further back, then you can place yourself around that second post, and from here you can see if it's a good serve and the opponents are defending and they're in trouble, then take a step forward and prepare to be aggressive. Or if you can see that they're going to lob and they're going to come underneath the ball, then you can stay at that second post or even take a step back to be ready for the bandeja. One really important tip, and it doesn't matter if you're serving from the center of the box or if you're serving in Australian formation from the center, is that you need to move immediately after your action. One of the biggest things that players struggle with is they serve and then they're kind of watching their ball, seeing if it's going in, seeing if it's a good serve, and then they go in afterwards. And the problem is then when you come to the net position, you're one or two steps too far back because you haven't got there in time. So make sure that after you serve, you immediately move straight towards that net position and take up a good net position, and therefore that will stand you in good stead for the rest of the point. Now, before we talk about the problem, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also like the video if you find this useful information. Now, when it comes to the biggest issue for players learning the game when they're learning the formations, it is usually to do with choosing their sides too early. Players play a handful of times and then they decide, right, I'm a left court player or I'm a right court player, without having experienced both sides. It's really important that you experience both sides, partly so you know what your partner is going through and how they're going to play, so you can understand your side a little bit better, and also it gives you time to develop the certain attributes that go with both sides. Now, if you want to know the difference between left court and right court players, I've got another video which I'm going to put on this side, and that's a really good place to go after this to try and get a better understanding.